So an earthquake, a 8.4 8.1 has just hit Mexico. And there were videos circulating all over the internet of these flashes that lit up the sky. There were clouds, so these flashes reflected on the clouds and it looked really eerie, like an alien invasion. And people saying, oh, these are earthquake lights, and National Geographic explained how it's caused by electrical activity in the rocks. Not quite. It wasn't either. It was not caused by the electrical activity in the rocks. It was caused by electrical activity, however, but from our infrastructure. The lights in Mexico were actually caused by power flashes. Yes, power flashes. I looked at the video several times, and there were also power flickers during the quake. These were power lines that short-circuited, basically, transformers. Some of them were quick flashes, but some of them were kind of lasting. Those weren't power arcs. Those were transformer explosions. The shaking disrupted the flow of electricity, caused the transformer to short circuit and explode. But it wasn't the ones on those long transformers. It was one of those regular power lines. And it didn't necessarily cause power outages because these transformer explosions didn't knock the power out. Essentially, it might have been like a power arc. But they were in one location, kind of flashes. So these are what power flashes are. You sometimes see them during tornadoes. I've seen them myself during stormy weather when it's windy out. Because when you have shaking, like a lot of shaking, it disrupts the flow of electrons, as I just mentioned, and that would cause arcing, short circuiting, and that would cause the transformers to explode basically or short circuit. But in addition to the earthquake, we have 3 hurricanes, 2 Category 4s, and a Category 2 that's heading for Mexico. So this hurricane, the new one, Jose, is a Category 4. It's a 150-mile-an-hour storm, and it's again headed for Barbuda. They're now doing a full-scale evacuation there to evacuate the surviving residents. A lot of people died in Barbuda, at least 100 people, if not more. I mean, look, the amount of people who died in Barbuda is a lot. Like, a lot of people died, could not find adequate shelter. They're not saying how many people unfortunately lost their lives, but I believe it's going to be over 100 people just on that island. I mean, if you're talking about the whole Caribbean, all those islands, probably hundreds already dead. Well, last night, the NAM model kind of had an issue, and it said this storm was going to go up the coast and out to sea. Well, I knew there's something wrong with that NAM, so I waited until this morning, and once again, the NAM is now showing a landfall on the west side of Florida, unfortunately. So the upper level low is definitely moving out quicker than expected. The 6Z NAM showed it basically going up the spine of Florida. The 12Z NAM, the current NAM, has it going up the west coast now. So you people in Tampa might have to be very careful on this. This is going to affect all of Florida. I mean, look, this storm is wider than the widest point of Florida. It's so wide. Say this is Florida. Say my face is Florida, and this is the extent of hurricane force winds, or winds over 60 miles an hour. This wide. This is a huge hurricane. However, for Jose, I'm going to talk a little bit about Jose. Jose is going to weaken slightly. Why? It's going to encounter a lot of wind shear and upwelling from Irma. So the Category 4 will be knocked down a peg or two over the next few days. So it may become a 5 later today, but then it will quickly weaken to a Category 2 and maybe even a Category 1 in about 3 or 4 days as it encounters a lot of wind shear from Irma. Because Irma is going to kind of stall over the southeast and it will still be producing some shear, which will kind of weaken the system. Some of the models were hinting that it might do a loop and then come back around. It's not going to do that. It's going to stall briefly, but then be picked up by the upper level low and basically sent out to sea. However, we're now in a positive phase in the Matt and Julian oscillation in the active phase. So over the next few weeks, we might have to watch out for another hurricane. And there might be one in October as well, as the models are suggesting that the Matt and Julian oscillation in October might become active once again. And that might be very bad because you know what happened in 2012 when we had Sandy. The Madden-Julian oscillation was also in its positive phase. Well, thank you for watching. Bye. And my heart goes out to the people of Mexico, to the people of the Caribbean, and to Florida. My family that lives there. This is a very hard time right now. It's almost as if the apocalypse is going on right now. It's just a really bad time right now for everybody. It looks like nobody's being escaped. I mean, Mexico's getting an earthquake and a hurricane, and the United States is getting wildfires, hurricanes, you name it. I really hope this storm goes out to sea. I mean, I hope a miracle happens and the storm just goes out to sea. Yeah, Irma. Well, thank you for watching. Bye.